Welcome back to Rayman 2. We're actually going with a new microphone this time. I say new, it's actually my phone. So hopefully my voice should sound the same as it does when I've done recorded videos from my phone, instead of using the built-in mic on my headset, which doesn't sound great. But without any further ado, we've got a level to be playing, the Sanctuary of Stone and Fire. That's not the jump button, this is. I've mentioned before, but the button mapping on an Xbox controller on this game on PC is not good and you can't change it. Anyway, back to the council chamber of the Teensies. Since this is another sanctuary, as you may recall, last time we were in a sanctuary we got our first mask. So by process of, well, this is also a sanctuary, we're going to get another mask here. And we got the Teensy cutscene as well. Pretty much a shortened version of the last one. And once again, you do theoretically need a certain amount of lums to get through, but you know, we already have 100% of all the lums we can get so far. Apologise for any noise the mic is picking up. It might be a bit sensitive to stuff happening on the table. But anyway, into the Sanctuary of Stone and Fire, as I alluded to last part, this is pretty much the longest level in the game, or one of the longest. And for 100%ing, we are going to need to be doing a little bit of back and forth. But, despite the length, it is, I'd say, quite a fun level. Because it's really intricate. Warning, Labyrinth. If you get lost, contact robo-routers immediately. Not sure what a robo-router means. And that's the button. And since we didn't really have much well, we had a little bit of combat, I suppose, in Whale Bay, but not tons, we get our we get more of a proper taste of combat using the charge shot. If my shots will actually go where I want them to go, there we go. Maybe they've got one hit point left. Oop, almost went too far. Break that open, and we got ourselves another purple lum to shoot and swing from. Nope. And that one there brings out another purple lum. Like I said, quite a bit of back and forth in this level, especially at the start area here. You might notice some red lums under the first platform we jumped down to. And here we have pretty much the only sort of temporary power-up you can get in the game, the Power Fist. Basically, it makes Rayman's shots 3 times stronger, so one normal shot is the equivalent to a charge shot, and a charge shot, instead of doing essentially 3 units of damage, it does 9. Dreamcast version has a cool effect when you shoot it. PC and N64, not so much. You just get a bigger shot that's brighter. But we can show off the power of the gold and sort of the Power Fist. Oh no, it's not equal to 9, it's equal to 6. So it's double the thing, but I believe a normal shot is still equal to about a charge shot. But yeah, you can dispatch your foes quite easily. You see the 3 gold fists under Rayman's head on the sort of heads-up display. If you get hit once, one of those things goes away, so basically you keep the Power Fist until you get hit 3 times. And here we got major mechanic of the level introduced right here, the plums. Now at the moment we're standing on one, and as you can see, it for some reason is extremely lava resilient, so we can use it to get across bits of lava in this level. And you basically, to go where you want to go, you shoot, and Rayman will go backwards from where he's gone. So, kind of momentum-y, I guess. So, basically just face the opposite direction. But, you might recognise this area, this is where we just were. This is where that line of red lungs you might have seen at the start of the level will be seeing those again. Come on, in through the gap. But yeah, decent amount of back and forth to 100% this level, and that's why it takes so long. Roughly half an hour if you know what you're doing. But it may take longer if you don't know what you're doing. Come on, in the cave. There we go. Right. So another thing you can do with plums, this is a bit weirdly scripted, but yeah, you can throw the plums as well. Exactly like powder kegs. Press the shoot button to throw them forwards, and the jump button to throw them up. Come on. Don't know why that one didn't throw properly. There we go. And if you put them onto a spike, you can stand on it. And as well as the upward spikes, you can put them on these sideways spikes as well, because we need to get the plum over here. It sort of essentially falls for a little bit after staying on those. So we'll throw this up, jump on it to get to this area. Now, this grate here is actually that grate we bounced on after beating up our first Robo-Pirate. So we've gone underneath the beginning of the level, essentially. And now we gotta head back. Now you may think, since we're going pretty much back the way we came, and we've come to an early bit of the level, we could just get off the plum and just run through normally. And you could, if you wanted just to get back to the level. But for 100%ing, we may as well stay on the plum, because we still need it in this area without going forwards. So we'll need to, so for the sake of efficiency, we're going to stay on this for a little bit longer. Back through this tunnel. And we got this little cave over here as well. Oh, Rayman. Well done, Rayman. You managed to clip yourself off the ledge and die. I feel the jump cut coming on. Alright, and we are back. Yeah, I grabbed the ledge too far to the right apparently and died. I didn't want to make you sit through me going going all the way back. Oh, it's a bit dark here. That's just my video settings. I apologise for that. Which means we're probably not going to be able to see the little enemies that were swarming us, but oh well. And we got one last function of plums, similar to how they were in Rayman 1. It involves not getting too close to those guys. Yeah, much like in Rayman 1, because plums are... Yeah. Plums are actually a gameplay element which come from Rayman 1. You can throw them on enemies' heads. Yeah, plums existed in Rayman 1 as well. Pretty much existed so that you could ride them to get a little bit of elevation, or to put on enemies' heads, or to ride across water. In this game they added the ability to ride them across lava. Anyway, cage. Our 40th cage, to be precise, which means another health upgrade. And that basically means we're halfway through all the cages as well, since there are 80 in the game. I hope I'm not wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure there are 80. But now that we've done messing around going backwards and forwards for 100% purposes, we can get on with the level proper. Now we can ride the plum through this, but there's a lum up here, so we'll go this way. and taking care of these little enemies here. Basically, they're like the heads of the caterpillar enemies, except they fly and make high-pitched buzzing noises. Bit weird. But they can be taken care of with a single shot, so... I believe this might be the first time they're shown to you in the game, I think. Obviously, the caterpillars themselves get shown quite a bit earlier in the game. I can hear one. I don't know where it is. Yeah. And we got more plums. Well, one more plum. And here we get a bit of a weird thing, because this is the end of this section. Normally there's a loading screen between sections, but not here. You kind of just walk off and then immediately spawn here. But here we got Murphy to tell us how to use the plums, even though we already know how. You've guessed how to climb onto the plum and move by shooting in the opposite direction. Yep, we know how to use this. I've already explained it. And yeah, you can shoot it to make it move if you're like not standing on it. Like that. And to waste it. But there's a sign. It points both ways. Obviously, I know which way to go. We go this way. Besides, if you played Metroid, you should know to always check out left before going right anyway. We got a mysterious entrance to perhaps I don't know, it's all built up and stuff. Yeah, it's looking quite like a temple in here. Avoid the fire. Now you're supposed to go all the way around and jump up here, but nah. We're gonna just do that. If you didn't have the power fist, that wall would take either 3 shots or a charge shot to break. But with the power fist we can shoot it down without any effort. Like with the cages, they require only 1 shot with the power fist instead of the standard 2 shots with a normal fist. Or a charge shot, as always. These stalactites will fall if you take too long to get on them, so make sure to get on quickly. Write this down. Some versions, including Dreamcast, have some cool lighting and stuff effects for the fire and lava, which makes it look real nice. And one thing I should probably mention as well, if we're talking version differences, the PS1 version, as I may have mentioned before, is radically different. Whoops. And one of the big differences, because some of the levels are either a little bit different or sort of decently different, this level is very different, with very different level design and stuff, so it's interesting to check out. I mean, this is the first Sanctuary level in the game in the PS1 version, because Whale Bay is pushed right up to where the Sanctuary of Water and Ice is, and the Sanctuary of Water and Ice is omitted completely. There's a sort of Sanctuary of Water and Ice-esque section at the end of Whale Bay, where the first boss, Axel, is. Why did they shoot that down so early? Ah well, I've got time. Not exactly hard. And here we got 3 things. A cage here, plus another power fist. And this one, it's just some red lums, don't need that. Nothing special in there. And this one is a spider. But with power fist, we take him down with ease. And here we got another shell. They're not just exclusive to the level that they were originated in. that they were originated in. Good English. So, as before, we just use the shell like we did before, and crash and die like before. Yeah, this shell section is a little fiddly on the collision detection, unfortunately, which makes it a slight pain to play. But hey, it even shows you can do loop-de-loops with the shell. You know, these things don't exactly adhere to normal gravity for some reason. Uh-oh. And if you fall off the wrong place, you explode. Like an exploding thing. I'm probably going to lose my power fist by the time I've finished the shell section, aren't I? I guess they really wanted to guard that mask from anyone with all this fire and this weird shell section. Well, to be fair, we'll see what happened there. Obviously, to be fair, I guess Polycus didn't want just anyone waking him up, and that's why there are the 4 masks and their guardians. I probably came dangerously close to exploding several times there. And with all these red lumps here, we're not exactly at risk of losing all our health, so just concentrate. There we go. And Rayman jumps off automatically. If the shell somehow misses, you can shoot that door down. Onwards. Hold on, I'm getting it. Oh, apologies about that. Got a phone call. That's going to come out amazingly on the mic, isn't it? Oh well. But, as you can see, we've been bamboozled. That's not the temple. It's just deposited us right out of where we went in. But of course, if you want 100%, you have to go through it. And now you want to make sure you don't miss this jump. Let's go through the entire sort of fake temple bit again, just to get these 2 lums. But yeah, if you're 100%, you want to go through that anyway, because of all the lums and cages we got in there. But now that we've done that, let's get going, perhaps to the real temple, or sanctuary, whatever. Did I seriously not land on that properly? Let's try that again. Perhaps wait till it's landed before jumping on it. That might help. Let's hope I don't have to do any more jump cuts this part. Knowing my luck, I probably will. Actually, I should probably turn Do Not Disturb on my phone to stop any unwanted notifications causing it to buzz horribly. And me picking my phone up to change that has probably come through horribly on the mic. I hate the button mapping. I pressed what would logically perhaps be a shoot button, and he jumped. Ugh. Anyways. Let's get back to where we were trying to go before I pressed the wrong button like an idiot. Come on. Sometimes the plums can be a little finicky to go where you want them to go. Sometimes you're shooting and so you should be going the direction that you want him to go, but he's not. But we're done with the plum for now. We've got a pirate to beat up here. Got to shoot him twice. And there's a cage next to him, so let's go pick that up. And back down we go. Ooh, this following area is probably going to come out quite dark. Well, whatever. It's my video settings, I'll have them how I want. Ah, notice the Cave of Bad Dreams music. And if you were quick, you might have caught a glance of this guy. We've got a little mini-boss here. He's constantly hiding behind these things, matching your movements. Unless you face away, then he comes to try and get you. And that's your chance to attack. Now, much like the ones in the Cave of Bad Dreams, he doesn't really have invincibility frames. Come on, just let me shoot you. So, you want to turn your back and then shoot him lots of times while he goes back behind the thing. Yeah, it's a bit awkward to work out this one really. But eventually he does go down. Eventually being the key word. And leaves behind a plum. So yeah, you do need to fight him, or else you can't progress. Because we need this plum over here in the darkness to reach that ledge. Yeah, this area has come out a little bit dark, but whatever. Hey, this is my YouTube channel, I'll do what I want, okay? One more yellow lum to get before we fall down here. Oh cool, bounce past me, why don't you? Nope. These are going to bounce awkwardly, aren't they? Come on. There we go. Because we now have even more plum riding to go. Whatever. Trying to find a camera to center the button to center the camera behind Rayman. Doesn't seem to exist on the controller though, the PC version. But with these sections, these are much more, not really automated on rails, but because they're downhill, the physics makes you so they go forwards. So this is more just about making sure you don't hit hazards than it is navigating. And we want to jump off the plum here. Not for the red lums, unless you're low on health, but I'm not. But more so for this yellow lum here. The plum will quite handily wait for you. And we got our first appearance of these things. Actually, well, not really. They technically appeared in the Menor Hills as a sort of more static obstacle. For whatever reason, these things are called nettles. I don't really think they resemble nettles that much, but whatever. Maybe nettles are different in France? I don't know. But we come down here. There's a green lum there, but we'll not bother with that for now. But if you are able to hear, you might be able to hear a cage. And this one's hidden a little bit deviously. You gotta come over here. If you had to know that that sort of hole in the wall is there. The camera didn't make it exactly obvious that it's there. Ooh. Use the drop shadow to help. Oh, I've gone too far again. Now, come on. Now this is another bit where Rayman 3D, the 3DS port, kind of makes things awkward because this spiderweb that above here that we're climbing on rendered invisible for some reason. I assume a glitch. So, but whatever. We're up here now, and we got that cage. And we'll fall down here, not into lava. And another one of those yellow orbs, or spheres even. Nope, Caterpillar's not going to get defeated from up there. What was there to do from down here? But yeah, we got this, so obviously there's going to be a pedestal for it somewhere. And the only way from here is down, so we gotta get going. And the background here is black normally, it's not just my video settings making it darker than it should be. I mean, it is a little darker than it perhaps could be, but the background is supposed to be black here. There are more of those caterpillar heads. And yet more. Lovely. Now you could carry that all the way around, or you could just tank damage. A lot easier to tank damage. And you're like in the Cave of Bad Dreams, make sure that the sphere lands before you go after it. Otherwise you gotta go all the way back up. They do provide a handy purple lum to get back up if you do mess up. So that purple lum will take you back up to the top there, in case you come down here without the yellow sphere. Now, if we remember from earlier, Murphy said you can shoot plums if they're far away. This is one of the few times in the game where that comes in handy, or rather is mandatory to progress. Look, that's the wrong button, you idiot. What we should do, oh come on, is throw it in the... That's not the jump button! I know it's the A button, but it's not the jump button on this button mapping. Ugh. What you do is you throw it in the air and shoot. Thankfully, for whatever physics reasons, it comes with you. I mean, I assume that's just to make that bit of gameplay possible. But here we got our yellow pedestal. It's turned some things. And we've got a bit of an overview of this room. Take it in carefully, we're going to be coming back here, since we need that blue sphere up there. Obviously don't fall into that lava, or else you'll be dead. But since this was so obviously highlighted to us, we're going to go here. It's brought us back here. Now, if we were to have gone into that thing, into the way it was facing before it had turned around with the yellow sphere, I believe it would just take us back here, but without... Why did I press that button? But without doing some other useful bits. As you can see, we got a yellow lum up there, so we need to get on the plum to reach it. Come back down here. Obviously, we don't need to go get the cage, but we can get this yellow lum that I missed along the way. It didn't matter that I missed it, since I knew I was going to be coming back here. But now, instead of being the lower bit, we come up here, and we're brought to here instead. It's a bit dark, I apologise once again. But we want to break open that thing. Like I said, a singular charge shot breaks it if you don't have a power fist. And we want to jump off, because the plum dies if it goes in the hotter lava. That's a long fall if you were to fall. But we gotta chase this purple lum through another slide section, because it wouldn't be an N64 platformer without a slide. Fairly simple one, just make sure you don't understeer on the corners, or else you're gonna fly off. Holding backwards diagonally is pretty much the technique for getting through the corners here. But that slide brings us down here. And that purple lum has quite helpfully put itself there. And we want to take the longer route over to the blue sphere, because there's an extra lum there. Get it thrown down. Get this yellow lum on the way. Don't worry, we are nearly at the end of this level. It is quite a long and complex one. Well, maybe not complex, but definitely long. And by putting those in, we have Umber, Guardian of the Sanctuary of Stone and Fire. Now, unlike our previous Guardian, we're not fighting this as a boss. We're just going to hitch a ride. Nice and easy. Even makes it into a cutscene for us. Yeah, like I've mentioned before, this game is a bit odd with bosses. Yeah, it doesn't have a ton of them. But yeah, this one, it's just a cutscene. I'm sure there's nothing significant about the fact that the camera expanded. Yeah, you had to jump off his head yourself. In the PS1 version, there's actually an extra cutscene there. You don't have to jump off, where he talks to Rayman. He's actually implied to be helping Rayman in the PS1 version, rather than opposing him. And there's actually an extra boss here on the PS1 version called Ninjaws. Yeah, in the PS1 version, instead of lava all around here, it's actually just a floor. And make sure you turn around here to get your last lum. But with that, we're about to get our second mask. Yeah, like I said, on PS1 there's an extra boss here, Ninjaws, who is more annoying than anything because he takes ages to beat with his teleporting strategy. I think Ninjaws is his name. Been a while since I played the PS1 version. But here we got our second mask. Which means we're going to go have another talk with Polycus. Yeah, we found the second mask. Yes, we can count. But yeah, we are getting closer to our goal. 2 more masks. So this level basically sort of marks the halfway point of the game. I mean, as we can tell from our cage count, getting to about halfway, well, getting over halfway in this level. Well, that was pretty much one of the longest levels in the game. There are a couple more levels that rival it in length, but I've never really measured it, so it's whatever. And yes, bonus level access granted, but bonus level, we don't want to go there. Back to the Hall of Doors. And yes, we want to save. Why wouldn't we? But that will do it for this part, since again, long level. We'll be going to the Echoing Caves next time.